Worked on this house with Marie and Ashley from prom, and we had
In a world obsessed with perfection, she dared to be honest. No filters, no scripts, no glamorous mansion behind her. Just a teenage girl, a camera, and the raw chaos of real life. Emma Chamberlain didn't plan to become a star. She just wanted to make people laugh at the mess. Her mess, your mess, everyone's. Yet somehow that honesty turned into an empire. From her bedroom walls covered in thrift store posters to the flashing lights of the Met Gala, Emma's journey feels like an impossible evolution. From relatable chaos to fashion royalty. But behind the quick cuts, sarcasm, and caffeine-fueled edits, there's a deeper story. One of burnout, identity, and the impossible pressure of staying real in a world that rewards perfection. So how did Emma Chamberlain, the girl who turned awkward silence into internet gold, become one of the most influential voices of her generation? This is her story. Before the fame, before the caffeine brand and couture gowns, there was just Emma, a curious, restless kid from San Bruno, California. Born in 2001, she grew up in a quiet suburb where dreams often stayed small. Her parents divorced when she was 5, and the world suddenly became quieter, smaller. Just Emma and her mom, living in a modest home, stretching every dollar, and finding joy in the little things. Her father, an artist, passed down a creative spark. Sketchbooks, colors, imagination. Her mother gave her resilience, the kind that blooms when life doesn't hand you comfort. Together, those two forces shaped her. Humor as armor, creativity as escape. In school, Emma was the weird girl, the one who cracked jokes to hide her anxiety. She didn't fit in, and deep down, she didn't want to. The isolation wasn't pain, it was fuel. The camera she'd later hold wasn't for fame. It was for freedom. Before anyone knew her name, Emma Chamberlain was already building the foundation of her empire. An empire of authenticity born from imperfection. It started with a camera, a laptop, and zero expectations. In 2017, a 16-year-old Emma Chamberlain sat in her bedroom, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, editing her first YouTube video on iMovie. No ring light, no fancy gear, just jump cuts, sarcasm, and brutal honesty about teenage life. Her videos weren't polished. They were chaotic, loud, unfiltered. But that's exactly why people watched. In an internet full of perfect faces and curated happiness, Emma's awkward laughter and self-deprecating humor felt like oxygen. Then came, "We all owe the dollar store an apology." It was weird, messy, hilarious, and it went viral. Overnight, she wasn't just another teen online, she was the voice of Gen Z's collective chaos. Within months, she joined the Sister Squad with James Charles and the Dolan twins. Millions tuned in not for perfection, but for personality, for a girl who turned imperfection into art. Emma wasn't following the algorithm. She was rewriting it. Each video was a small rebellion against everything the internet told young girls to be. And for a moment it felt like nothing could stop her. By 2018, Emma Chamberlain wasn't just a YouTuber. She was a phenomenon. Her channel exploded past millions of subscribers, reshaping what it meant to be real online. Brands came calling, but Emma didn't bend her style. She brought them into her world, the world of thrift stores, awkward pauses, and almond milk obsessions. Then came the milestones that turned an internet kid into a cultural icon. She won the Streamy Award for Breakout Creator, launched a podcast, Anything Goes, where her voice slowed down, matured, and revealed depth beyond the jump cuts. It wasn't chaos anymore. It was conversation. Fashion took notice. Louis Vuitton invited her to the front row. Vogue handed her a microphone at the Met Gala, where she interviewed Hollywood's biggest names with the same unfiltered charm that once defined her bedroom vlogs. One moment she was joking about caffeine and teenage anxiety. The next, she was standing beside Zendaya and Billie Eilish under the golden lights of the Met steps. She'd become something rare, a crossover between internet authenticity and high-fashion elegance, a digital outsider turned industry insider. without losing her awkward, brilliant edge. But behind every flash of the camera, there was a quiet question lingering. When the world finally accepts you for being different, what happens if you start to change? At the height of her fame, Emma Chamberlain was everywhere: magazine covers, luxury campaigns, red carpets. But inside, she was falling apart. The internet that had once celebrated her authenticity began to turn on her. Comment sections grew colder. Fans accused her of selling out, of losing the messy charm that made her real. Every photo shoot, every sponsorship was seen as proof that she'd traded honesty for luxury. But behind the filters and contracts, Emma was exhausted. Years of filming, editing, and performing had drained her. The burnout hit hard. She stopped uploading, disappeared from YouTube. The silence was deafening. While tabloids whispered about her disappearing act, Emma was quietly trying to remember who she was. Therapy, meditation, long walks, tears that never made it to camera, all part of the process of becoming human again. She later opened up about the pressure of being the internet's relatable girl, how even authenticity can become a performance when millions are watching, how being honest can start to feel like another lie. This wasn't a scandal of betrayal or crime. It was something deeper, a war between image and identity, between the girl who filmed in her bedroom and the woman expected to represent a generation. And in that silence, something remarkable happened. Emma didn't quit. She recalibrated. She began to build a new version of herself, one that could survive the noise. After the silence came clarity. When Emma Chamberlain finally returned, she wasn't chasing virality anymore. She was chasing balance. Her comeback didn't start with a YouTube upload. It began with a cup of coffee. Chamberlain coffee wasn't just a brand. It was a symbol of peace. Something simple, grounded, hers. A new creative outlet that didn't demand constant performance, just authenticity. Then came her podcast, Anything Goes. It wasn't loud or fast or edited to perfection. It was Emma's voice, raw, thoughtful, and sometimes trembling. She spoke about loneliness, self-worth, and the strange comfort of growing up in front of millions. What was once chaos became calm. What was once performance became perspective. In fashion, she evolved too. No longer the outsider sneaking into the spotlight. Now she owned it. Sitting front row at Louis Vuitton wasn't a flex. It was a statement that authenticity can wear couture, that humor and elegance can coexist. Emma had transformed from a viral teenager into something more powerful, a woman who knew how to protect her peace. And somehow, in slowing down, she went further than ever before. Today, Emma Chamberlain stands as one of the few creators who truly evolved without losing her soul. She turned awkwardness into art, chaos into conversation, and vulnerability into influence. What began as a teenage experiment in authenticity became a blueprint for a generation tired of pretending. Emma didn't just redefine YouTube, she redefined what it means to be real in an age of perfection. Her story isn't about views, fame, or fortune. It's about endurance, about the courage to step back, fall apart, and rebuild in public. From a bedroom lit by fairy lights to the red carpet under camera flashes, Emma's journey proves that the internet's most powerful currency isn't attention. It's honesty. Emma Chamberlain's journey reminds us that staying true to yourself isn't the easy path, but it's the only one that lasts. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold journeys of Hollywood's most fascinating stars, only on Stars and Scandals.